I'm Jennifer Barkin, and this is my colleague, Jennifer Donison. Both of us are family mediators and parenting coordinators. I'm also a registered social worker. Welcome to our first podcast, Divorce Bites. We're here to be your friends, but also to teach you all the things you need to know about divorce and separation. So, we're hoping that you can write us with your questions, and we will dedicate some episodes to things that you're interested in because we're here for you. But today, we're going to be talking about the holidays because they are slowly creeping up on us. And holidays are a very hard time, or they can be a very hard time for families going through divorce and separation.
hmm Absolutely. We're so happy to collaborate and come together with this information for you all because there's a lot of people who are going through separation right now and they're feeling overwhelmed with the holidays, and it's going to be very different than what they're used to. People are very anxious about their children feeling differently going through this first holiday apart. And we really want to speak to you not only about different things that we've seen with our clients, but also a little bit of personal experience and the hardships that we've also had to endure. And I think a couple of different tips that we can give can maybe help you guys go through the holidays in a little bit more of a positive way.
Perfect. So, something that comes up a lot in my practice is I want for people to celebrate Christmas the 24th and the 25th because I just can't imagine not having my kids on those days. And there's all these things that we do with my family and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Any thoughts about that, Jennifer?
Yeah, I mean, people that have traditions that they're used to when they're combined in their family, and they want to continue those after separation and divorce, and sometimes it's just not possible. New traditions have to be created, and when people start to be hard stuck in their positions, and they say, "Well, no, my family has always celebrated the 24th, so you're not going to get the 24th with the children," that becomes difficult for the children because now they're not able to celebrate with both sides and have that family experience. So I really am an advocate for parents to start new traditions if it's going to interfere with the children's well-being.
Exactly, me as well. One thing, and for it takes people a while to get their head wrapped around this, but it does work. Understand where your kids are at. So, why I'm saying that is it's really the parents that are stuck on the 24th and the 25th. The years that you don't have your children on those days, why not celebrate on the 26th or the 27th? At the end of the day, all the kids care about is we got to celebrate, saw our family, and we got presents. They don't care. They don't say, you know what, I'm not with my mom or my dad on the 25th, boo hoo hoo. They just want all of the celebrations and the gifts that go along with the holiday.
And Jen, it's funny because I remember my first year when I was with my kids solo. It was very difficult because they were going to their dad midday on Christmas Day. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be with my kids on Christmas. This is Christmas. How can I not be with them? And when they left, I literally went in my car and I cried and I cried and I cried. And I thought, oh my gosh, and I'm very fortunate because I have a very supportive family, and I have friends that are there that I can speak to. But it was such a lonely feeling knowing that my kids, these two little people that were my whole world, were not going to be there with me on Christmas. And as the time went on, I started to understand that they were having a great time at their dad's, and they were opening more presents, and they were busy, and they were doing things. And I started to shift my perspective, and it wasn't boohoo on me. It was more, wow, they get to experience this and really enjoy both sides of things. So it's important, I think, to, even though it's hard, to continue to look at it from the kid's perspective as opposed to always just thinking about what's best for us.
Exactly. And for the children, where before separation, they had one day to celebrate, now they're getting double everything. Like it's
Yeah.
awesome because
Yeah.
little kids and adolescents, it's how's this going to affect me? And for them, it's actually a bonus in that
Mhm.
way.
You've touched on something very important, and I think a lot of people that I've dealt with, anyways, are very concerned over competing with their ex-spouse. What are
Mhm.
they going to get the kids? Should I get something better? I need to spend more money because they're getting this, gaming system or whatever the case may be. And I think it's really important to note that that's just hurting the kids because you're setting up this precedent and this expectation that you're not going to always be able to fulfill. Maybe, I mean, if you don't have the means to do it, but it's not really helping the kids. The kids really like the meaningful things and the things that you do with them traditionally. I had a client that would always take the kids away on holidays. And, when they split, the other parent wasn't able to do that. It wasn't something that they were able to do. So what we worked on was actually figuring out little traditions that they could make at
Mhm.
home. So they had sleeping bags and they slept in front of the TV on Christmas Eve night, and they did these little like hot chocolate things, and the kids loved it and they talked about it for years after. It's not about how much money you're going to spend. It's about the meaningful things that you can do and create.
And as a parent, with the expensive gifts, instead of getting angry that, oh, he or she's trying to buy the children, look at it
Mhm.
this way. You have more money in your wallet. You didn't have to
Yeah.
buy it.
Yeah.
And come
And the
up
kids
with
have
those
it.
things that are
Yeah.
inexpensive and fun. It's
Yep.
all about building memories.
Yes. Yep.
One thing that I know a lot of kids have enjoyed, put them in their pajamas on Christmas Eve, go to a drive-through Tim Hortons or a Starbucks, get a hot chocolate, and drive through the prettiest neighborhood in your city and look at all the Christmas lights, making memories, and it costs a cup of hot chocolate.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And on that note, it's something that I think people should be aware of, that kids are so much smarter than we give them credit for. And at
Hmm.
times, the smallest gesture that you may make um, about the ex is going to be very hurtful for them. So it's like, oh, well, what did you get for Christmas? Oh, wow, well, I'm glad he had enough money to buy that. Or, oh, of course she got you this. These type of
Yeah.
sarcastic comments, or even the rolling of the eyes, is something kids pick up on, and then they feel guilty for telling you things that they enjoy, as you know. And it's one of those things that I try to stress to my clients, to keep those comments and even those physical things that you may just habitually do, try to be aware of it so that your kids aren't the ones that have to suffer because of your upset.
Totally. The kids pick up on everything. And the research does show, when they've interviewed grown up children, um, tell me about your parents' divorce or what that was like for you. And the kids all say the same thing. There's a pattern that they don't want to be pulled into the garbage. That's between mom and dad. So the biggest gift, for speaking about gifts, is allowing your children to love both of their parents
Hmm.
and not making them create a loyalty bond.
Right. And, I've also heard, I don't know about you, Jen, but have you had a lot of people run by you? Should I be buying my ex-partner a gift from the children? Because I get that question a lot and I've seen it a lot. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, clearly, if there's a no contact order or something not between
Right.
the parents,
A little
that's a different
different.
situation. But I'm always saying you can control your behavior, you can't control other people's behavior. So be the bigger person. What do you want your children to say about you and remember about you when they grow up? So, if your children are too little to buy a gift, or if they're adolescents and honestly it just slips their mind because it's normal, they're all about them at that age.
Mhm.
Um, Speak to them about buying dad or mom a gift. Do it because your kids are going to grow up and this is what they're going to remember. Even if the other parent handled themselves like a, you know what, my mom or my dad, they were awesome through this. They allowed me to have a relationship with my other parent. Um, the kids are going to feel good. So it's really
Yeah.
not even about the acts. It's about making your children happy and making your children feel good.
That's exactly my perspective. And I also feel, just to add to what you've said so beautifully, is that teaching kids that giving makes you feel good is such an important lesson for them. And it's really not about your ex, it's about having them create something that they feel happy and proud of. Either they make something from home or they're wrapping something and they're saying, here, they don't have that opportunity a lot as children because we as adults are the ones that buy and give gifts. But for them to actually do it for the other parent and to be proud to give it, it's such a special opportunity for them to grow up with. So yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
One of the things about our podcast that I'm really excited about is that we're going to touch on a lot of different topics that are either things that are happening like the holidays right now, but I also like that we're going to keep things short so people don't feel like they have to take out a whole bunch of time of their day to watch it. So I think that we should maybe wrap this up now and just wish everybody a happy holidays. And if there's anything that anyone else wants us to discuss or talk about, maybe something personal that you're going through, we'd be happy to. And happy holidays to everybody.
Happy holidays.